How's it going, everyone? Got a bunch of necklaces to talk about from Wazoo Survival Gear today. We're going to be talking about the new Spark necklace that launched on Kickstarter recently. I'm going to show you all everything about that. We're going to compare it to the old models, and then I'm also going to show you all how to use this with a few different types of tinder. And if you're totally new to a Ferro Rod, keep watching. I'm going to show you all exactly how to use one. Alright, so clearly we are not in the woods today. We are on concrete. It has been very, very dry lately, so I'm just trying to minimize the risk of any fire spreading, so we're just going to do it right here on this stump top. To start things off, over here, this is the bushcraft necklace, and then over here are the new Spark necklaces, and dead center, the one that I've been wearing a lot, the Viking Spark. So let's go ahead. We're going to discuss some differences between the old bushcraft necklace right here, and then the new Spark right here. Most notably, you're going to be able to notice that the striker is a whole lot larger. So this is a longer striker. It is a different design and all of that good stuff. But also, and I'm not sure that the camera is really going to pick it up, but the Spark is thicker than the ceramic on this. So that does increase its strength, and then that longer striker itself, that is going to make it a whole lot easier to use, especially with colder hands, people that may not have a lot of grip strength. That's really good. Also, what we've got on the new Spark is this quick release clasp. So a lot of the prototypes that you're seeing around Instagram do not have these, but I do have one model right here, and this is how it will come when the Kickstarter is finished up. Now, they all used to come with these double fisherman's knots, and that's how they were all tied. And I do have a couple of mine that are that way, just because I kind of prefer that, but the quick release clasp, it's pretty awesome too. So what happens when you get one of these straight from the Kickstarter, or let's say that you want to just go ahead and purchase the bushcraft necklace from Wazoo Survival Gear. So what happens when you get one of these and you just have no clue what you're doing, but you just want to have something to be prepared, and you like the way that they look, whatever the case is. Let's go ahead and discuss right out of the box what you do. So your Ferro Rod is going to come totally black, like this right here, and oftentimes the side that faces out as my necklace, I try to keep that looking new, but this is what it will start to look like once you've used it. It'll turn silver. So right out of the box, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to scrape that black coating off, and to do that, you just get a good grip on the Ferro Rod and you start to scrape it off. So this one has already been scraped, as have all of mine, except for the front sides, which I don't want to scrape off on some of these. But just get that black coating scraped off, and then it'll start to do this right here, which is obviously what you want. You want it to start sparking. So let's go ahead, let's clear a few of these things out. There again, the Spark, and that's what that looks like. It's got the little pendant around back, which doubles as your striker. Let's move it out of the way. We're also going to move the old models out of the way, now that we've discussed those and the differences between them and the new Spark. This is my tinder bag, which we're going to dig into here in a minute. And then I'm going to move the white one out of the way as well, and we'll just use my black one right here. Okay, so you get the black coating, you scrape it off, and then you're at silver. So what then? How do you actually use this to start a fire? So first off, you're going to move this down to the end, and there's a few different ways that you can hold this when you're using it. You can kind of brace it against your thumb right there and just create some friction, and you can strike it that way, or you can kind of pinch this right here, which that kind of works. If I've got a good stable surface, I'll pinch it like that. So just play around with your grip on the Ferro Rod itself. As far as the striker, you've got this knot right here that you can kind of pinch like that right there, and then there's your striker. This is kind of a common thing that I see with people. They automatically kind of want to strike it with it just, you know, parallel to the ferro rod, and that's an incorrect way. This is also an incorrect way, trying to strike it that way. You want to do, and I'm hoping that this is showing up well, you want to kind of put it at a 45-degree angle, and you'll feel it, you'll hear it, and everything when you've got that proper angle on the ferro rod. Okay, so that's kind of a crash course on how to hold the ferro rod and all of that good stuff. Next up, let's take a look at a few different materials, and this is just my Campcraft tinder bag. I've got all sorts of different tinder materials in here. And tinder, if you are not familiar, because I am trying to make this as a video that is for everyone that has woods experience, all the way up to just people who just think that the necklace looks cool and want to be a little bit more prepared. So I've got everything in here, from natural tinder material all the way up to just basic cotton. So tinder is the first step in your materials of fire. It goes tinder, kindling, and fuel. So you always want to start out with this type of material. So we're going to discuss a few different ones here. There is fat wood. Again, we will discuss that here in just a moment. Let me go ahead and dig in here to the next one. Let's see, I had it in here and I think I took it out. Nope, I didn't. I just saw it. What we call these are fire Cheetos. These are from Wazoo Survival Gear as well. I carry a few of these in my hat that I'm wearing, and then I keep these in my belt as well. There is just a basic cotton makeup removal pad, and then we've got just some dryer lint that I literally just pulled out of my dryer. So let's take a look here. So let's say that you've just got your new spark in, or like I said, your bushcraft necklace, if you want to buy the one that's already available. What do you use? Just seriously go straight up to your dryer. Let's go ahead. We'll move these other tinder materials out of the way. We'll use those here in just a moment though. Go straight up to your dryer, grab your dryer lint out. We've got a few little things in here. Let's go ahead, we'll fluff it up. And this is kind of the rule of thumb with any tinder. You want to make your tinder as big and as fluffy as possible to accept the spark and then turn into a flame. So right here, and this is actually going to catch and it's going to burn quite a bit. So I'm not going to use it all because my camera is right up there. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's do the method where we kind of brace it on our thumb. We're just going to put it down right there and right there. It's as simple as that. And that will be our first tinder material that we talk about, just basic dryer lint. And what you would do from here is you would start adding your sticks on top of your flame. Let's move this back so it doesn't get toasted. Start adding your sticks on top of your flame, and then once you have a sustainable fire, you would actually add your logs, which is your fuel. So we'll let that burn down for just a moment, and then we'll dig into some of these other tinder materials. Well, actually, we'll go ahead and put this one out with our piece of fat wood there. And we're on concrete, which is awesome. So we'll just slide that over there. All right. Next up, we're just going to talk about a basic cotton round. So this cotton round is a makeup removal pad. And I buy these just in like 100 packs at Dollar Tree, not for removing makeup. But I use these a lot, and I put Vaseline on them, and it is one of the best tinder materials. You can spend a lot of money on tinder that is commercially made, but this with Vaseline on it is fantastic. This one does not have Vaseline on it, but it ignites just as easily this way, and even more so with Vaseline on it. So again, let's just use the bracing it against our thumb method and just do a little strike here. And sometimes what just happened there, you'll strike once and it won't go. That's kind of a common thing. It's no big deal, just strike it again. I've noticed if I leave a ferro rod sitting for a while, I kind of have to strike it 1 or 2 times as well. And sometimes if I'm just rusty, I have to give it, you know, a couple of good strikes. All right, so that is cotton. Cotton works awesome. And like I said, if you really want to kick cotton up a notch, get some Vaseline and just rub it all over there. And again, just like I did at the beginning there, just do that right there and fluff it up, expose those inner fibers, and it works awesome. All right, so there is that. Now let's dig into this. So this is basically, I don't know exactly the full makeup of what this is, but this is basically just a cotton type material with accelerant built in. But these are really awesome because they're not gooey or nasty, and they're dry to the touch. And you can carry these around in your pocket. You can carry them in Wazoo survival gear's cache belt, their cache hat, which this is the hat that I always wear, and you probably are very familiar with seeing me in these. And then right here in the hidden pocket, I keep one of those along with a few other items. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about ferro rods. So let me grab my knife real quick. We're going to use it for the next 2 things here. So what I like to do is I can get about 3 fires out of this. So I don't like to use all of this just because it's kind of wasteful. So let's go ahead. Let's just cut a third off right there. Cut about a third. We're gonna, being careful here, we're gonna kind of slice right down there. Again, surface area is your friend on this as well. You want to fluff that up as much as possible to expose those fibers. And we're gonna light this sucker up here in a minute. And these burn for a long time. A full fire plug, Cheeto, whatever you want to call them. They look like Cheetos, so we're just gonna keep calling them Cheetos. It'll burn for about 10 minutes, and they're waterproof and everything, so they're fantastic. And also, for my knife guys out there, I'm sure you're wondering what this is. This is a Corvus Survival Tchotchke knife. This is by Jerry Saunders. I met him at Blade Show, and I absolutely love this little knife that he sent me. So back to the Cheeto here. This is a good everyday carry tinder source that you can always have with you, and they work awesome. So let's go ahead. Let's do a different method on this one. Let's pin it right here, and sometimes this is what you'll want to do in high wind or in a scenario where your tinder is more likely to blow around. You'll want to pin it. So let's go ahead, let's pin our ferro rod down. We are going to pin it down with our thumb and then plant it into the stump, and then we're just going to start striking. We'll kind of move around here, get to a part with a little bit more exposed, and there it goes. It wanted to go. I think I put it out with my finger. Let's go ahead, let's fluff up a bit more of that material. And that's the awesome thing too about this little point on this particular striker. It's really good for fluffing up tinder and various little things. So there we go. So that just wasn't fluffed up enough, but you can tell this lets off a lot of heat. I really like these. Like I said, I keep about, I want to say 3 or 4 of these on me at all times. But these are fantastic. So that is the fire plug. And also that kind of showed you all a little bit of trial and error and a little bit of troubleshooting too. If you're having problems with getting something to light, just fluff it up more. Like I said, with the little tip on this, you can fluff it up a little bit more. Yeah, let's go ahead, let's put this out. Whoa, and that's why I love these too. You can snuff the oxygen out, and most of the time they keep going. They come back to life. They're pretty awesome. All right, so we don't want to give ourselves any advantage of leaving leftover material. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. All right, so now let's give fatwood a chance. So fatwood is pine. It comes from pines typically. And this is all resin, so that really sticky stuff, it settles into knots and certain parts of the trees, and this is all of that goodness. Let's go ahead, it's getting dark, so I'm going to switch away from the black one and we'll grab the white. And let's take a look at that real quick. But before I do, let's go ahead and look at the spark, just since we've got our knife out. So the spark has the Viking whetstone, and it also has the striker right here. So same deal, you'll just slide this out to the side and you'll use that as a striker. But what you do with the whetstone itself is you get this whet, hence the name whetstone, and you'll kind of run your knife on it like this right here. And then you'll do it on the back side. So this is a fantastic everyday carry knife sharpener as well, which is a really hard thing to find. It's hard to find something that you can carry on your person that'll sharpen your knife, and is actually comfortable. So that's just a quick side note on the Viking whetstone. Now let's go ahead, let's process this down. I'll show you all how I like to do it. First off, let's get us a little bit of material to work with here. And we're just going to feather some of this off right here. And this will be what catches our flame here in just a moment. Okay. And we're not actually doing a big fire or anything. This is just for demo purposes. But let's go ahead and we'll just get us a little pile of this stuff going. All right there. We'll put our knife safely over there, blade away from us, safety first. And then what we're going to do is we're not scraping a ferro rod this time, we're actually scraping wood to make a tinder right now. So same type of deal, you're going at this at a 45-degree angle, and you're just scraping this fat wood until it turns into dust right there. And hopefully the autofocus is not just jumping in and out of focus. So let's go ahead, let's get our little pile right there. All right. I still want a little bit more than that, so let's go ahead at this sharp corner right here. We're going to get a little bit more. And just as good as this works as a ferro rod scraper, it works surprisingly well at scraping this fat wood. So this would work well on barks and all sorts of stuff. All right. So let's go ahead and I'll show you all kind of my technique on this. You can do two different things with this. Let's reverse on this side real quick. You can kind of do these long scrapes, long slow scrapes, and what that does is that's actually going to shave off a little bit of the ferrocerium off of your ferrocerium rod right here. Kind of works like magnesium if you're familiar with a magnesium block and striker. But yeah, we'll give that a go. We'll see if it will go on the first strike. If not, we'll do the pump method. And just real quick, this is the pump method. So I think I may have done this on the last one. You just kind of, you quite literally, you just pump it like that right there. Let's dig in a little bit more. That's the pump method. So let's go ahead, and I think I just ignited it, but we'll give it a good strike. Yeah, we'll pump it. Right there. And that is, like I said, that's fat wood. So This is a very, very, very good fire starter. It's actually one of my go-tos in winter, and when it's really wet outside, I always try to find downed pines, and I get this stuff and harvest it. There are plenty of awesome videos on how to find fat wood and process it and everything on the interwebs and YouTube. So check that out, and who knows, maybe I'll try to do one as well. But that is fat wood, and like I said, that is kind of a crash course. Let's put this out, and we'll put all of our tinder materials back up here for you all to see. So we've got, right from the get-go, you've got dryer lint that you can literally just go inside your dryer and grab. You've got cotton rounds. I think everyone's probably got cotton balls or something like that in your house. So try dryer lint, try this. If while you're placing your order from Wazoo, you want to grab some of these tinder tabs, by all means grab some of these. They're fantastic. And then fat wood. You can learn how to harvest this on your own, or you can go to a local big box store like Walmart, and oftentimes in like their barbecue area, they'll have stuff that looks like this. It's not as good as wild harvested stuff that you get on your own, but check that out. This is really cool stuff. So let's go ahead. We'll do a quick recap. That was our tinders. And these are the new Wazoo survival gear sparks. Fantastic innovation to an already awesome necklace, which was the bushcraft necklace. I'm really liking these 3 new models. Very stoked that I was their photographer on this campaign and got to have these in hand for probably the past 2-3 months. I've really enjoyed them, liked wearing them, and I just think that this is a great new addition to their lineup. I'm really excited about it. And then, like I said, if you don't want to wait until December of 2022 when these are going to be shipping, then by all means check out the bushcraft necklace. This is their current one that is up on wazoosurvivalgear.com. And down in the description or somewhere, wherever you're watching this, I'll try to include my coupon code for their website. Currently it's Anthony Awaken 10, but we may have to switch that up. So just check the description, and if you can't find the description or the coupon, just let me know. I'm more than happy to send whatever my active coupon code is at the current moment. So before we leave, let's go ahead. We're going to set one more little fire here, but we're going to do it with the old bushcraft necklace. It's not been getting a lot of love since the Kickstarter. It's feeling left out, but it is still very much a part of the family. So let's go ahead. We are going to ignite the dryer lint, and I did not take my own advice, and I did not fluff it up. So let's go ahead and do that. This is another method as well where you pull back like that right there. So we're going to do that to ignite this right there. All right, then we'll do this one. Let's give it a little bit of a fluff there. Let's go ahead, we'll pin it against our thumb there. A little bit more stability. So yeah guys, this is the Wazoo Survival Gear Spark and Bushcraft Necklaces. Again, Corvus Survival, check this blade out. This one is an awesome one, really liking that. Thanks again, Jerry. And if you all have any questions about the Spark, Bushcraft Necklaces, Wazoo Survival Gear, whatever, let me know. I'm more than happy to help. See you guys.